because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch QB, lady.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold on the screen. This is Cannon. Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Darnold now to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Let's go, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Darnold. Gets it to his running back, Cannon. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold going to throw deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 17-yard line.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, lady? Give me some. Here we go.
Throwing again is Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Catanzaro's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Smooth. 557. All day. Just go.
Out of the gun. Goff. Looking long for Thomas. This is caught. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Goff. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Saints. 48 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
From the red zone now, Goff. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. 20. 3 ball.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Let's go.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Hey, if you kill it, motion me out.
76, tell him. 76. 76.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he stopped immediately there. Jordan Jenkins there on the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
General West.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
20.
Mike. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Shell. 11. Hey, orbit.
From the 31, Goff. And that is incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Open man is Michael Thomas. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now Goff. Looking long for Thomas. This is caught inside the 15. And down to the 11. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards.
First down, New Orleans.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing again is Goff. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw is Darnold. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 27th, Goff. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Goff on 1st down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Alert 3. You go tight. You got 12. You got 10.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check. 53's mine.
From just shy of midfield, Goff on the check down. He finds Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Bravo!
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Let's go, D. Big Sears right here.
Throwing on third. Gone. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing again on second down. Darnold, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. The Jets on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Darnold, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Found his target. It's Anderson. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold got his man complete over the middle. It's Cannon. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 7. Now Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Goff. Jones has it. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Cannon. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They'll run again with Cannon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
He may try and run for this. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's 4th down.
But it's 4th down.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down in the backfield. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for New Orleans, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the